All right, guys, this is XAUUSD Investors, man, and I wanted to just talk a little bit about this whole Novatech fiasco. And I don't know if it's a fiasco because this is not the slam Novatech, but I have to say that we as a group, my small group of friends, I was outvoted and they wanted to dump a little bit of high risk capital into Novatech. Now remember, when it comes to expectations with our high risk investments, we really set the bar low. The first thing that we want to do is just get our money back. But even with Novatech, I thought there were other opportunities that were high risk, but we had a little bit more control. Now, this is what I mean by control. You really never have 100% control of the market, but you have a little bit more control based on transparency. All right, here's the first thing about Novatech. You know, I'm going to show you how we pretty much work our own Novatech now. Let's see. All right, let's go. Okay, first thing I want to do is go here. The five of us, so we each put in $200, so that was $1,000, right? So we had $1,000 in here. Every month, we are not on the multi-level marketing or network marketing or direct marketing side of it. So we just want to know straight what is passive income, not selling to friends, not selling to neighbors, not selling to people on the internet. I just wanted to know, could this platform make us money? And then we can go our individual ways. And we had our pool, which is the OUR pool, and we can do whatever we wanted to do individually. So right here, I see that it's $25 a month in service fee. So what is that? 2.5% if it's $1,000 pool. So it has to do at least 2.5% a month just to cover that nut. And they have to do that while we're giving away 30% of any of the gains. Now, I know that they didn't promise anything, but they just say over the average of 3 years that they made what, 12% a month, something like that. But I think that's depending on what their vendor, what their trader was doing. I don't know if Novatech did that or not, because I hadn't seen that sort of performance that I could prove. That is, that I can prove. But that's not the point of this. So basically, we're really getting anywhere between 5 and 9% in the best case scenario. Now, how do we do that? And my argument was we can do that by testing and investing in 3 different items and make sure that we had a diverse offering to do that. Let me show you what I mean. Number 1, we're going to compete directly with Novatech. Novatech is a PAM, right? Percentage allocation money management, or percentage allocation, what is it? Money module, something like that. Well, it's a PAM account, as you can see it here, a PAM account. Now, the true PAMs, I've invested in some PAMs, and I've made money with PAMs, and I've lost money with PAMs. But everything that I've seen about Novatech is it was pretty much a sure thing, because they had this magical trader or this magical system or this magical EA that never lost. This is what I mean by transparency. Whenever I'm investigating a PAM, I can tell whether it's bullshit or not. This doesn't show everything, but it shows some things. For instance, let's see here. This PAM is through a broker. It's an offshore broker, so if you're in the U.S., you're not going to be able to utilize this service anyways. But anyways, I can see right here, these are all the PAM accounts that they offer. Now remember, you don't see very many PAM accounts going the long term. Like, look at this one. This is 4 days old, and it's up to over 1,300. I pretty much know that's BS. That's going to be luck. They're probably running a lot of robots, blowing accounts, and starting over, blowing accounts, starting over, blowing accounts. Now, if you can get your 100, 200, 300% out of this 13, cool, do it. Too risky for my blood, and I'm a high risk guy. Let's look at these other ones. That's 43%. They've been around for 9 years. Love that. 7 months. Let's look at this one. It's 17,000. No way out. They have one down draw. This may work. Let's see here. Let me take a look at it. Now I'm going to share with you what I mean by transparency, or a little transparency. Risk level is still up. I see that. Few drawdowns. The biggest, let's see if this is showing a drawdown. Nope, that's not showing a drawdown. Okay. Okay. Some of the things that I love to look at. Look at this minimum investment, $50. On the $50, you have to pay them 40%. If you have $2,500, which I would never, I'll do this on another video. I would never put $2,500 in this, no matter what it looks like, because I never know when it's going to blow up. Okay, guys, this one does not show the trade by trade, but I would still probably consider this because I can get in and I can test it on with only $50. Now I have my lowest testing amount is usually like $100, and if it does well, and if I'm matching the exact same trades as they're reporting here, then I may scale up. But the thing is, once I get to my set point and I do my fixed money management figure there, so just say if I put $1,000 in this, I'll let it ride until I hit $1,000, then I'll take my money out. So once it hits $2,000, I'm going to take my $1,000 out. Now it's all risk-free. So that's generally how it works. But I will know before it even doubles if it's something that I'm going to stay in or not. So this one may be a pretty good one. I don't know, but I'll probably test it with $50 to $100 just to start off, and then just see if I'm going to put more of my, now listen to this term, more of my bankroll in there. So I'm looking at this just like casino type of money management. I'm not looking at it as just the regular day-to-day investment and trading type of account. So that's the first thing, guys. You have so many options here, as I've shown you, when it comes to trying to find a PAMM account to invest in. Let's go with the second thing. Now the second one is trade copy. You're trade copying signals. So you have a trader back there, they're making calls, they're executing signals. So this is called trade copying or auto trading, which is pretty cool. The only thing that you're paying for, you're not paying them a percentage, you're paying for the signal. You're paying for the trade service itself. So let's look at a couple of these. This one is 3 months. Usually I like to look at something that's 3 months and look at the history and how they're trading. What's more important to me, this is $39 a month, what's more important to me than this is the gain, 158% in 3 months, 5 days, and the drawdown is 10%. Beautiful. I'm going to give this one a shot. There's no doubt about it. And let's click on it. I like it. So far, so good. Now I'm looking at the equity curve. See, this is just small research. This is one thing I don't like because this can skew what the overall percentage is. This is 3 deposits. So the thing is, they've deposited over, let's see, 2. They've deposited, what, $1,000? So it's really only $500 that they've gained on this. So that's a little skewed, but I'm good with that because that's just the way it is. So when we had that 10% drawdown, that was probably a little bit more than that, but it seems to be relatively safe. It even shows you the win-loss ratios. They're winning 70% of their trades. Don't really look at that much. And then this is what I love right here, guys. It shows you every trade that they have taken. And what I like to see are lost trades sprinkled in this. Let's see. It's not that difficult. Now, I'm telling you guys, sometimes it's you'll get hoodwinked by looking at some of these numbers, but it's better than nothing. Now, this is pretty transparent. Now, some of the things that may differ is your broker. You have to think about slippage. You have to think about quotes. Are they quoting the same thing at the same time? That's why you don't put much money in it in the beginning, because you have to test it out with real money. If it's going to be a good, solid trader, they'll be around. You don't have to be greedy. Be patient. So that's the second thing, are the trade copy signals. And third, but not least, are EAs and trading robots. But these are managed robots. In other words, you just don't set it and forget it and just let it run. That's when you're guaranteed that you're going to blow your account. What I mean by that is the robot, well, some can, but robots don't know the sentiment of the market many times. There can be that someone comes out and they speak, and that, especially with the gold market, like someone in the financial world can speak, can give their opinion, and it can move the whole market. If it goes against you, it can go against you in 5 minutes and then bounce back up. But that 5 minutes just took you out of the market. So I don't believe in just a set and forget. For instance, in this particular, show you this, guys, this is mine. So give you a quick example. When you see these drops from 600%, almost 700%, all the way down to 460% gain. If someone put their money in here, they would have been pissed. If someone put their money in here, it went from 1,300% to 500% gain. What that's telling you is take your capital out, because you never know when the market's going to turn on you. I'm a strong believer, I am a strong believer in zero risk. How do I get to zero risk? If I put $1,000 in here, it gets to $2,000. I'm taking that $1,000 out, putting it on the bench, or put it into other vehicles. Or I may take some of it and just put it into something a little bit more safe, you know? And when I say safe, that's a relative term. Remember, I know that this isn't advice. I'm just telling you our philosophy and what we do. Let me share with you one of the robots that we're using now. And I think I'm reporting on this one. It's called the Private EA. And we're all trade copying this. Of course, this is a demo account, but we're trading this into our real money account. So we have a small group of 5 right now. We all do our own thing, but we test together. But we do our own things individually. But as you can see right here, since April 17th, 23 to May, so that's a little bit over a month, we're 38% up. Now, here's the cool thing about this. There were several days that we didn't trade. And what I mean by didn't trade, I turned the EA off because they were going to have some substantial news items happen. You know, that can be anything from FMOC, it can be the Fed speaking. They know that they're going to hike the interest rates, or anything like that can just throw it. And whatever's happening in the London session as well. So if something's happening in the London session, I just turn the damn thing off because I don't want to be too greedy. So 38%. Compare that to a lot of these platforms that are claiming 10% a month. We're doing quite well. Am I expecting it to rock and roll like that? No, I'm going to take my $38 out, or $380 out, or $3,800 out, depending on what multiple I'm using, and I'm going to put it aside. Now, what that's telling me is, even if I start over with $1,000 or $10,000, at least I've secured, what, 40%? Pretty close to 40%. And now I have at risk 60% when you, in the grand scheme of things. So there's a lot of ways, but guys, it's going to take a little bit more work. Even with passive income, you've got to be the head of your own hedge fund. You've got to be the head of your own Novatech. And what does that mean? Researching things. Learn a little bit about the money management. Learn the basics about trading. Learn, if you're going to use an EA, test that EA. Get with other people who can help you test the EA. Hell, pay someone to test the EA if you don't know. Form your own little investment group, and you guys, or tester group, I'm not going to call it an investment group, and test your EA. Test the trade copiers. Test the PAM accounts. So there's a lot of things you can do, but you have other options out there. The only thing that we can say, if Novatech's not going to pay us again, we didn't lose that much money, I didn't lose that much money. Worst case scenario is I've learned another lesson. And this is not the first lesson. Trust me, we'll talk about that in details. So if you want a little bit more on how we do things, a little bit more information or business plan, things of that nature, feel free. I think I may have just a link down there. If you click on the link, you can download it instantly. if I'm not mistaken. But I'm going to do a video on it first. All right, guys, go out there and make some real money. Just my opinion.